Jeremy, bringing the NFL chaos tonight. And tonight we have grievances. We have grievances. And tonight's the night we're going to get chaotic and we're going to bring those grievances. You want to know who's going to bring the chaos? I'm going to bring the chaos. The chaos is coming right here, baby. It's coming for me right now. Right after this.
I would regret it if people look back at the first episode and you weren't on it.
Yeah, well, I like that. It's called forward thinking.
We have one of the worst beats in the world. We do. Our beat is horrible.
Conor could shove that article up his ass.
And then I went to that game and I was like, this is the greatest team I've ever seen in my life. I'm a Jet fan. This is going to be the greatest run ever. Yeah.
No, because if they take a Kwanu, I'm not complaining.
Joe Douglas is the king of keeping shit close to the vest.
A 2, a 4, and a 6 for Darnold.
Did the Jets really ruin Sam Darnold, or did Sam Darnold just suck all along and we were just trying to talk ourselves into it?
And Hamilton is a player who can potentially make a very big impact.
And suddenly here we are today, you can't get rid of him.
Right, it's like a plague.
Joe Douglas was hired because he's not those general managers.
Okay, Luscious.
Somebody is going to fall just like Elijah Moore did, just like Michael Carter did.
You know, what would, if you had one sentence to say to Joe Douglas, what would you say? So you would say, you had me at hello, and then give him a big old wet one right on the smack.
That's right. Subscribe. If you're here right now watching and you haven't, subscribe. But anyway, it's time to get going. It's time to get cracking. And before we can do that, we must bring in my esteemed co-host, Y2K99, also AKA Adam. What's up, my brother?
Cheers. How we doing, West Coast?
We are doing good on the West Coast. We had a chilly day, but a great day on Mission Beach. We went onto the beach a little. We went into the bay. We had a good time. We ate some pizza, some pasta. And here we are right now, ready to go, ready to have a good time.
Fantastic. Yeah, I made baked ziti on Sunday, and I've had it 4 days in a row, and I am not complaining about it.
Sounds good, man. I see you sent me a picture, and it looked pretty damn good to me.
Oh, yeah. It's all about the plating. You know, like one of those keys when you're doing like a baked pasta, it's all in the presentation a lot of times. You put your little dollop of sauce underneath because, you know, it's typically not saucy enough. So it's all about like the layers of flavor, but it's also layers of sight. So then I put the ziti on top, sprinkle a little parsley on top. You get that, you know, you want the different colors. It's more pleasing to the eye. So, hey, even if the food doesn't taste as great, at least it looks good.
Yeah. Oh. Presentation is big in food.
Yeah. They're your culinary tips for the day, chat. You're welcome.
I'm gonna show you some pictures of some food next time. Next time I go on, I'll share some pictures of food. If you're follow me on Instagram, Jeremy Cravat or Jay Cravat or whatever. If you find me on Instagram, I just posted some pictures of some yummy morsels of food. So anyway, my brother was here earlier. I don't know if he's still watching. He's downstairs. Tom Bon Jovi, what's up? We'll get to your comment in a section. You want to get right to business. I see my niece is here. Hello. Hey, Uncle Jeremy. Hey, niece Leah. She's downstairs as well. We got Aunt Jess 82. Gitmo Bob made it on time. And the return of the Jedi. Jets fam, Rusty Spooner.
The Rusty Spooner, the one and only.
It warms my heart to see you back. And boy, do we got questions for you, man. We got questions.
Just a few.
And we got J. Cole. It's him. He's the real Rusty. You know how I know he's the real Rusty? You see the last two little characters in his message? Only Rusty knows how to do that. Only Rusty knows how to say it's me, fam. Nobody could fake it. We got our Rusty back, everybody.
The family feels complete tonight.
We got the mess here. Mess, my buddy Mess. And Mess, I am not eating yet, but Adam is. So don't Don't worry about it. There's somebody to get a lot of food all over their shirt just for you.
Yeah, a little baked potato out of the oven. Did 45 minutes of cardio. Now, I'm leaving for New York City on Friday morning. I got a 3-day weekend in Manhattan, so I'm trying to eat what I have in the house. So here we got a baked potato, about 2 green onions, about 3 strips of center cut bacon, nice and thick cut bacon. So, you want your bacon potato ratio to be about 50-50 at the worst. That always makes a baked potato stellar.
Nice. My wife is very aware that I'm going to be drinking beer later with my brother. We got some good stuff. There's a brewery in Quebec, called Unibrow, and it's a guy from Belgium, and he makes real Belgian ale. Unibrow. They have Moonite and all these great, amazing beers. And Trader Joe has a deal with them where Trader Joe's Belgian ale is Unibrow, and you could tell because when you pull the cork out, it says Unibrow on the cork. And it tastes a lot of like their Fin du Monde, which is one of their best beers. But anyway, let's get to business. Tom Bon Jovi comes in, and right away, he wants to get to business and talk about Schultz, the tight end in Dallas. There's news that he is going to be hitting the open market. The Dallas Cowboys are more than likely not going to tag him. I think that's almost official, or I don't know if it's rumors, but I mean, maybe you could verify, Adam. But I did hear a lot of people saying that it looks like Schultz is not going to get tagged.
Yep, I've been hearing the same. I believe it was Matt Lombardo who made the report, and it's per league sources. So who knows how reliable the sources are? We all have a source. So, but we do know a few things. The Cowboys are $21 million over the cap. So if they want to have a prayer of re-signing Dalton Schultz, they gotta lose somebody. They gotta, like Amari Cooper, for instance. They might have to restructure a few contracts, but it's not going to be easy for them to keep him. They're not. It's not like they have the Jets cap situation. They have to do some wheeling and dealing. And the other thing for the cap situation that I think we need to know, the tag for a tight end, the franchise tag, is expected to be about $10.9 million. So if they want to franchise him, they have to clear a good at least $30 million. And that's not even factoring in signing draftees or any other of their own free agents or any outside free agents.
Okay. So now that we know that it's possible, what do you think of it? What do you think of Schultz? Is he obviously I know from the past, and most of us agree that as far as tight end is concerned, it's not like we need one. A lot of people are saying sign one and draft one. So what do you feel about Schultz as a tight end if we signed him?
I would feel fantastic. Now, of course, it always wonders about, what the contract, what kind of situation he would want. But you know what? This is a guy who's been in the league 4 years, and he just keeps getting better and better. He's making that steady climb into being one of the elite tight ends in football. He's probably already top 10, and I think he could be top 5. If you look over his last 2 years, he's averaging 10 yards per catch. He has 141 catches for 1,423 yards and 12 touchdowns. Oh, and this little detail, the man can block, which I can't say for every tight end on the free agent market that we have been talking about. So we know Joe Douglas wants younger free agents, unlike a lot of his predecessors who would go after names, or they would simply not spend money at all. They were just saving it all up for a rainy day. So I even though if Joe Douglas, between drafting, trades, and free agents, has one thing that hasn't worked out quite as well, it's been the free agency, but I still admire his philosophy with the free agents. A lot of times it's been injuries, in many cases, that have hampered these free agents. So I think Dalton Schultz fits right in line with Joe Douglas's way of thinking for signing a free agent tight end. And, with other positions, you can argue, well, maybe with safety, some want Marcus Williams, some want Jesse Bates. But with tight end, there's really not too much of a debate. Dalton Schultz is the man to get.
Okay. So you heard it. That's who Adam wants. I know him from one thing. I've watched a few Dallas games. They're on TV a lot. And it's always an interesting game when it's Dallas because they're either loved or they're hated. And it always seems to be this year. It was always a good game when Dallas played. So whenever it was televised and, we watched it. We have DirecTV, so if it didn't compete with the Jet game, it was always one of the games I'd follow a little bit. And I noticed the guy catching passes. It felt like it was every drive he was doing something. He definitely seemed to be that kind of receiver that can help a quarterback, a nice trusty little safety valve, guy who can make plays. I didn't notice his blocking. It's nice to know and hear that he can block as well, and we'll see if we get him. He's going to cost some money, but that's okay. We have money, and we're going to have to spend it on something. So why not a good proven tight end?
Exactly. In terms of other tight ends who I've had interest in, if CJ Uzoma shakes free from Cincinnati, he's a guy I would look at. If you're looking at somebody a little bit cheaper, I could see a Gerald Everett making sense for a year, 2 at the most. I just think like Mo Alley Cox and Max Williams are interesting. Williams actually fits in quite well with this offense, because we need a tight end who can block and catch.
Absolutely.
You cannot have a one. How do you want to say it? A one-dimensional tight end. Exactly, one-dimensional. The only thing with Williams is he tends to have some injury issues, but with Arizona, he was really emerging as a go-to tight end for Kyler Murray until he got hurt, and that's when they traded for Zach Ertz. So Williams is a guy you might be able to get for $2 million. In fact, in the article I'm writing for Green Bean's website, I might have a little bit of a write-up on Max Williams, so look for that in the next couple of days, if I could give a cheap plug. So there are quite a few tight ends to get, but in terms of overall productivity, age, health, things like that, Dalton Schultz is the number one guy to target.
Got it. All right. Yeah. Well, let's see if it happens. Return of the Jedi, Rusty Spooner. I love that. I'm gonna not show your chat. It's a little too early for that language, because I'm realizing I can get in trouble with YouTube if I do those things too soon. People say you can mix it in the middle if you're deep into the show, but I'm just gonna read it. ESPN could go F themselves 100%. I wasn't banned because I wasn't wrong and fought. And then he does the little, the fist and the fly thing. He's so excited to be back with his fam. And
Russ never sleeps.
Marthea Simon's in the chat. Notice that we had food. Of course we do. And then you say, so obviously, Rusty, we'll get to, at some point, we're going to talk about your deal with ESPN. Obviously, you're not a fan of ESPN, so we're gonna explore that. I don't know if you want to call in one day and we'll have a discussion about it, or if you want to be on the show. You have to let me know, because I know you've never asked, so I assume that you're someone who has no interest in being on the show. But you might want to call in. I don't know, but I would love to get the details and understand the anger that comes out of the loving Rusty Spooner, who's usually Jets fan, love, 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 positivity, and all of a sudden you're like, F that, and you're ready to blow yourself up in an ESPN building. So I just kind of want to figure out what's going on there. I don't know who brought it up, but Mess goes right after, I guess, Amari Cooper and says, too many miles on that tire. I honestly, that's not the guy I want to go after. I don't want to. He's probably still going to demand a pretty big contract. Not the wide receiver that I want. How about you, Y2K?
I don't think Cooper is a go-to number one wide receiver at this point. I don't know if he ever quite was. I think he's a receiver who, I'm sure when he came out, people were talking about him as a generational wide receiver. There's that annoying word again. But he's kind of settled into what he is. He's a good receiver when he's on the field, but at this point, let's be real, he's pretty much overpaid. And again, since you'd have to trade for him, you have to give up compensation. Personally, that's really not something I'm too interested in doing. I wouldn't want, I don't know, if you have Cooper, Davis, and Moore as your top three receivers, I wonder what that alignment would look like. I mean, because we'll talk about some of these guys a little bit later, but I don't know if that's the wide receiver core I'd want to go to war with. I would rather either get my own guy, or there's other free agents I would want. I think with wide receivers who they're talking about trading for, I am open to Ridley. I'm very open to Calvin Ridley. Now, for those who would immediately say, well, the mental health, we don't know what the mental health situation really is. There are different rumors about it's the city of Atlanta that he and his fiance dealt with some people, and they just feel like they need a new start. I mean, that's not a mental illness. If he feels like he needs a new start, hey, we'll take him. If he says he's not going to play for Atlanta again, if that's the way it's going to be, I'm definitely a fan of Calvin Ridley. DK Metcalf, I think, will cost too much. And not only that, I was very disappointed in him this year. I felt he took really a step back, and I don't think too many people paid attention to it. I think he may have peaked 2 years ago, but this year he just disappeared a lot. I was not impressed with him. So, and I guess for a low-cost option, maybe Brandon Cooks, this guy gets traded every 6 weeks, it seems. Is there a team Brandon Cooks hasn't been on yet besides the Jets? So for a deep threat, I guess I kick the tires on Cooks, but there's a few guys in free agency I'd rather have, and there's certainly guys in the draft I'd rather have.
There was a time
Bob, I read your mind.
I thought you saw it in the chat already.
I didn't. I know. I was looking at the screen. I didn't.
Interesting. There was a time I really liked him. I really thought he was going to have a bigger career in the NFL, to be honest.
Yeah.
Really did. I think I drafted him very early in fantasy football. Like, I thought, oh, this guy's going to be out of control, and it just never seemed to happen. So
didn't he go to New England one year, if I remember correctly? Was he in New England?
Yes, he was. I believe so.
Yeah, and he didn't light it up there. So pretty much right there, it's like,
right. Well, if you can't,
not a good sign.
Yeah, if you can't light it up in New Orleans and you can't light it up in New England,
and definitely New Orleans.
Yeah,
for sure.
You're not going to have. Then I mean, you're pretty much done.
How much can you expect with him and with Davis Mills? With all due respect.
Exactly. Nathan Colgrove is here. Welcome. Thanks for coming. Thanks for being here. And he comes in and right away says something we've been talking about. If we don't sign a tight end, we're going to have to double up in free. We're going to have to double up in the draft without question. It's hard to imagine that we wouldn't. If we didn't bring anybody in and then we only drafted one guy, to have a rookie and then I guess Croft and then say Yeboah, that still doesn't seem like no matter who we draft, we're really addressing the problem for next year, because any rookie, I don't care, even if it's McBride, I don't know if we can rely on him to be that weapon for Zach right off the bat.
I feel like I would be very surprised if when the 2022 season starts, our starter at tight end is not either Trey McBride or Dalton Schultz, one of the two. And then with getting an additional tight end, I'm all for it, but I would be interested in getting one in the lower rounds, in the 5th round. And I think I'm one of the few Jets fans who has really supported bringing back Tyler Croft for like a 1-year kind of cheap deal, like this, about the same $2 million. And you know what? Let's see that raw rookie with like a Charlie Kolar, for instance. I don't even know if it's going to be Jeremy Ruckert. I think he's going to go pretty quickly, but in like 3rd roundish, 4th roundish. But a guy who's like a little bit lower on the totem pole, let's see him try to beat Tyler Croft out. Croft might start as the number 2 tight end, which I think he is suited for. And then maybe over the course of the year, this raw rookie, this rookie starts to work his way up. And then by the time next year, maybe have your 1-2 tight end punch, of Schultz / McBride and whoever the newcomer is. I mean, I could get behind that.
It's hard to know what we're going to do in that position, because there's free agents and we have so much draft capital, and it's really hard to predict. There's so many different combinations because it's such a deep draft in tight ends. And I'm happy with all those scenarios. I just want to know that game 1, when Zach goes under center, we're going to be in a better position than we were last year. We're going to have, we're just going to be stronger in that position. And I hope whoever we pick, if it's Charlie Kolar, that's great. But if it's Charlie Kolar, then hopefully we sign somebody like a Schultz or somebody really reliable. And Croft to be on the team is fine with me. 1 or 2 million, whatever it is, he could block. He knows the system. It's not that he's a bad tight end. He's not a bad guy player. He's just not the standout player, the weapon he's just not a strong weapon. We want a better weapon. But to have a Tyler Croft on the roster is not an issue with me at all. I agree. He's a veteran guy. He knows our system. He's not like a liability. It's just that we want someone stronger and better in the position overall.
Exactly. And we know Mike LaFleur, we saw it early in the year when he tried to run the 12 offense, when he wanted to have 2 tight ends on the field, and the offense just couldn't get it going because they just didn't have the personnel to make that work. I'd be very surprised if Mike LaFleur is not talking to Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas and say, hey, I need at least one tight end that I can count on. Ron Middleton, I understand, is in the room right now saying, if he's good, draft him. He ain't good. Draft him anyway.
Gibbo says that he needs to want to come here, and that's true. And look, we've paid a Jets tax before. We used to have to overpay players. I think that's slowly going to change, and I think it's starting to change a little bit. I think that that our coaching staff has a very good reputation. I think that the players in the league are more educated than fans around the league. So just because fans around the league think the Jets are a joke and they're the same old Jets and they look at the record and they don't really know the intricacies of what's going on here, I think a lot of the players do. I think they know who Robert Saleh is. I think a lot of players that saw him play have a buzz about Zach Wilson, and they see that he's very talented and that he could be something special. Like, I think that the players have access to that information, their agents, a lot of people doing a lot of research. So when they look at the Jets, they're not seeing the same team they saw a year ago when free agents were looking at the Jets, or 2 years ago. This is not Adam Gase anymore. I think that the players probably, I'm guessing, internal to the league, probably see us a little differently now. I'm not saying they see us as going to the Niners or going to the Packers or New England yet. I'm simply saying I don't think that internally in the NFL we're looked upon as a joke.
And how overdue is that?
Yeah.
How overdue is that? I mentioned this last week when Dick Butkus said, well, it's the middle of February and the Jets are already eliminated from next year's playoffs. It's not funny. It's not funny anymore. I'm tired of being the butt of a joke. I'm tired of 11 years, much more than any other team who has not even sniffed the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And only one of those years were we reasonably contenders until the last week of the season. So, it's time to work our way back up to respectability. And I'll keep saying it every week until it happens, every year until it happens. It's time for us to be excited about football as Christmas is going on. Yeah. I don't think that's too much to ask anymore.
It's definitely not too much to ask. It's something we deserve. So Rusty says he'll call in tonight. So look, I don't have a call-in technology, but what you could do is I can give you the stream, and when you come in and you join, just shut the video off. Before you come into the room, you could hit there's going to be a little button that says Stop Cam on the bottom, and you could make sure the camera is off and the mute button is not off. And then when I call you in, we'll just see a black box and you could talk. If that works for you, let me know when we get down a little bit later in the show. Rusty, if you're good for that, let me know. And yeah, we'll have you come on and you'll explain what happened, what the situation is. We were all wondering. We were worried you were mad or upset at us. I thought maybe because I didn't play your players. And then I realized it happened after the show on Thursday. So anyway, it was a big mystery. We're all wondering what happened. So let us know. Afram is in the house. He says he's never had over 1,000 yards, Cook, which is true. And out of his 8 years, can't be overlooked. Oh, no, he has over 1,000 yards 6 out of his 8 years. Can't be overlooked. Wow. I guess he just does it quietly, because I just thought he was going to be a bigger star, but I guess he's been okay. I would say he would have to come cheap. Like, we're not going to give him a lot of money, and I could see it maybe as a 1-year deal. Like maybe he'd bring him in like we brought in Keelan Cole, but he's much better than Keelan Cole. Keelan Cole never had any numbers. So I'm not comparing him to that, but I just wouldn't see us. I mean, he's certainly not a WR1, right? So anybody who feels the Jets need a WR1 and feels we don't have one is not going to be happy if it's Cooks. So I don't know, unless we just want to go with a lot of good receivers and not have to have one that's defined as a wide receiver one.
And we do need a deep threat. I will say, I think one issue I could have with Cooks is that he's never played a full season. I think that might be an issue, but he's always played between pretty much 10 and 13 games just about every. Actually, you know what? Let me look again. Let me take that back. Never mind. Okay, so he did play a full year. 16 games out of 18 this year. Okay, so he had a few injury issues early on, but he's been better since. And he's consistently been scoring touchdowns, usually between around 5, 6, 7 touchdowns just about every season. So, yeah, I mean, he's been, I guess you could say, quietly consistent. So I wonder why we have that general perception of him. Maybe because he does get moved around a whole lot. It's like a hired assassin almost.
Yeah.
He's moving.
Eventually, when you move around a lot, people don't look at you the same. But maybe he shouldn't be overlooked. And you know what? JD won't overlook him. JD's gonna, that's what's changed. We're a well-run organization now. We have a strong GM. We have a good scouting team, good scouts, good people under him. He got rid of the 2 leaks that were leaking things. Like that's one of the first things he did was get rid of 2 people and got them out of the organization. He's a professional. So you don't have to look, you don't have to worry. We're not going to leave any stone unturned. So let's see what's Gitmo Bob. And LaFraud will never lose that name until he finds a way to make Mims successful. LaFraud wouldn't let Mims run deep routes, which is his strength. So what makes you think he'll allow another receiver to run those routes? Well, I think that Elijah Moore ran some deep routes at times. I saw him go pretty deep. So, but
it's Corey Davis, so did Keelan Cole.
Yeah. But some of those were off script because I don't know if the offense really is. I mean, that's just not the West Coast offense, right? I mean, it's a lot of slants up the middle, a lot of short stuff, a lot of running, some play action. I don't know if it's so much of a big play, throw deep down the field offense.
And I don't think they wanted to put Wilson in that position too early. Right. I think that's something that he can grow into, but I think they wanted to make sure he had the fundamentals down first before they started to open things up. And I didn't know Denzel Mims did anything well anymore. Thanks for informing me on that one. Boy. I can't wait for Gitmo Bob. I know it's going to take time. It's not going to happen until next season. But when he stops saying LaFraud, I'll know this offense is doing well.
Well, that's what we're hoping. Gitmo is going to be like a litmus test, without even watching a game or knowing anything. If you just next year in the middle of the season turned on one of these channels and just looked at the chat, and if you see Gitmo calling him LaFleur, then you know that we're in good shape. So J. Cole's letting everybody know. I kind of felt this was coming, that Putin has declared war on the Ukraine. That's not a surprise, and it's interesting because it was big. It's big enough news that J. Cole did not come in and talk about soup. Nathan Colgrove. I can't laugh at the Jets-related jokes anymore. I can't either. I can't. It's not because with Gase, you had to laugh because what are you going to do? Try to defend them? But now I will defend my team. I'll defend my guy. I'll defend my coach, and I'll defend my GM. Afram is the calmest fan in existence, Coach Bowles. I don't know what that means. Did Todd
Bowles Coach Bowles, or basically acts the same way? I guess.
I don't know, man. But let's see what Afram has to say now. I'm just glad he's here, hanging out with us. You want productive players? Every offensive player should be considered a threat to the defense. Hard to scheme defensively. Yeah,
sounds nice.
I like it. We got to utilize everybody, right? We got to, make use of everyone. Looks like we've caught up in the chat. That's good. We haven't gotten our answer from Rusty yet. I'm still waiting to know if I give him the stream, does he want to come on just with the camera off? Eventually, one day I will have a Google Voice or something like Ryan has set up. I just got to figure it out. It's hard, man. It's hard to find the time to do all this stuff. Okay, let's see what Bob is saying now.
Bob keeps coming.
Why do you want players who can stretch the field when they don't run those routes except for a broken play or away by Zach W? Well, it's not. I didn't say that's not necessarily a want for me personally. If they brought it, I still think you should have a player that can do it. I think we do personally. I think a lot of people are overlooking Elijah Moore. I think a lot of people are underestimating how good he could be and what he might be. If you ask me. personally. But I don't know, man. Maybe we won't. But I still think you need a very fast, speedy weapon, right?
I mean, I'm not asking for Robbie Anderson back. You know, somebody whose complete strength is basically running a go route. That's not what we're looking at, but I want the capability. You know, we need that breakaway capability. I mean, why else are we're talking about players like Garrett Wilson and Treylon Burks? You know, you pick your favorite wide receiver. It's like maybe Jamison Williams. So, I mean, if we're not going to do that, then why are we even talking about getting a wide receiver with a premium pick or spending premium money on a wide receiver? What would the point be if we're not going to at least try to implement a passing game that can be a legitimate weapon and can be a legitimate threat?
So Nick Shine is in the chat. Nick Shine is often a guest on the show. He's a big part of our intro. And he's a big man. He's a big, strong man, Nick Shine. And he's a lot of fun, too. He's the kind of guy that'll wear a big one-piece pajamas outfit and go outside in the snow and make angels. Okay, he's fun. He's a fun dude. Good evening to both of you distinguished gentlemen. Well, good evening to you, my good sir.
Good evening.
Maybe we'll have you on. Who am I having on in a couple of weeks that you know? 2 weeks from now, we're gonna have probably have Kevin Spotman. The Spotty. He goes by a lot of names. Kevin Blackman, who Nick Shine is definitely a friend of. Maybe we'll have you on with him. Maybe we'll have him on for a while, and then you'll join us. Nick is a good guy to just bring in. It's like, okay, we need to pump it up a little bit. We need to turn up the volume in here. You bring in Nick, and he lights the shit up,
He comes across as calm, but he slowly can work his way into the chaos when he gets going. He rides the line very well. We have here.
Long Pop Radio. It's some call-in thing. Okay, we'll check it out. It's probably too late to do it now during the show, but Long Pop Radio. I'll look into it. We'll try to figure it out. We got to figure out how we're going to get you to call in. I mean, we'll get it figured out. I'm gonna, once I figure out the Google phone thing, it'll, it's just going to be all of a sudden, like maybe next week we're going to come onto the show and say we have call in, and there's going to be a phone number going across. So it's once I look into it, it won't take long. Because the truth is, I am pretty good at stuff like that. Once I get the idea of it,
Yeah, I mean, basically, you figured out how to make like a background for the show, and it took you like 2 minutes. Like once you set your mind to it, boom, it came right up.
Yeah. See, the way I see it, Get Mo, is, and I talked about this on Sunday. I'm not going to be mad whatever we do. I'm going to trust that they know what they're doing. If we take a wide receiver at 10, let's say we took Drake London, or let's say we took Treylon Burks or Garrett Wilson, I'm going to assume that means that they love that guy. Like, I'm going to assume it means they see things in him and they've done their analysis and they believe that we have a star. If we take a wide receiver at 10, they're thinking this is our Deebo Samuel. They're thinking we have our superstar. And if they don't, and they take one in the second, it's like you said, it's the same thing. They're looking for value. Here's a very good wide receiver that we're happy we slipped down somewhere in the second round and we grabbed our guy. So, but however it happens, that's the way I choose to believe right now. I'm choosing to trust our general manager.
I'll tell you right now, they draft a wide receiver at 10 about 30 seconds after the pick is made. When you're watching ESPN, when you're watching the NFL Network, they will flip the camera into the Jets draft room. You'll have like Joe Douglas like this on the phone, and with the other end, he's going to be high-fiving everybody because they got a guy they really wanted, just like they did with Elijah Moore, just like they did with AVT. I guarantee you that.
Okay. And I got to meet this Long Beach Joe I hear so much about.
I've been on a show. Yeah, I've been on a show.
You got to set that up so we can collab with him, man.
Yeah, that was actually the first appearance I ever did. Yeah, that was audio only. And I actually thought when I saw Long Beach Joe, I figured it was Long Island. He's actually in California. So.
Oh, wow. So he might like me. He might like me. Fellow Californian.
There's a chance.
Doing this show, there's a chance. I can weasel my way in like I did with everybody else, befriend him, and convince him to collab with me.
There you go. I haven't seen videos from him in a little bit since the off season started, but yeah, definitely a good guy. Yeah, we talked for about 10, 15 minutes, and yeah, it was a good talk. A lot of it was around Marcus May because he was in the news at the time. So, but yeah, definitely a good dude.
Okay, let's look at that name again so I don't forget it. Long Pop Radio. Try to remember that. Long Pop Radio. I'll look into it. Long Pop Radio. And I know there's also Google Talk. So that's two possibilities. Okay, here we go. Now we got the J. Cole we know and love. Make me a chicken sandwich. So he wants you to make him a chicken sandwich.
He doesn't want soup?
I guess not. I guess he had his soup. So Nick,
I could do that. I made like a caprese chicken a little bit, with tomato, fresh mozzarella, a little bit of basil, and I like to toast the ciabatta bread a little bit and spread a little pesto on it. That's probably my go-to chicken sandwich that I make.
Sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah.
I am officially off the Devin Lloyd bandwagon. You're off the Devin Lloyd bandwagon.
All right.
Just found out he's 24. Oh, okay. That's interesting. That means he's like a one contract kind of guy, right? It's like once he's free to go, he's 29. That makes him cheaper to resign. We could put him in the same situation as a Marcus May, where we completely owned him. I'm all in on Nakobe Dean now. I love Nakobe Dean. I've loved him. I mean, I've always liked Devin Lloyd. I've never had a problem with him, but I always had Nakobe Dean above him personally. So, I have no problem with you being a Nakobe Dean guy now because I'm a Nakobe Dean. It's just a question. It's just a question of do we want to? Is that the position we're going to go with early, right? Because that's going to take trading down a number 2, the 10th pick. It's going to take trading up because he's kind of in that weird 20 to 25 range. So. It just depends. And if we do trade down to that range, is he the guy we're trading down to get, or is it going to be Trey McBride? Because there's a lot of people thinking that Trey McBride might not make it into the second round.
It's very possible, but every year somebody falls. People get you can only hype so many guys. Only so many guys can be taken ahead of time. And, for every guy who gets drafted a lot sooner than we expect, there's one guy who's going to start to fall. It's just the way that the draft board has to work. So if McBride goes early, well, maybe a wide receiver is going to fall, or maybe a linebacker is going to fall, or a cornerback. I've seen Devin Lloyd, not even Devin Lloyd, but let's just say a Jermaine Johnson. In the mock drafts, I have seen him picked anywhere between number 9 and number 30. The range on this guy is insane, and Devin Lloyd is actually not that different either. I've seen a few places project him going in the top 10, not to the Jets, but maybe to the Giants or to a team like that. Brian Daboll might want a new toy for his defense, might want some leadership on that defense. So, just remember, if a guy goes early who you really want, just look and see what else is there and look at what other possibilities might be there. One player, unless you're talking quarterback, unless you're looking at a certain quarterback, which we are not this year, as we know, the loss of one player is rarely, if ever, going to make or break your draft. So,
yeah,
let's just keep perspective.
Yep.
Hard to do, but let's try it anyway.
So Nathan is a guy who can also throw out our name to this Long Beach Joe. Just throw a name out there, guys. Rusty, make the intro. Let him know. I'm a crazy guy, funny. I got a partner that's pretty smart over here in Adam, and
I got his phone number, actually. I can actually text him later.
Oh, okay. Yeah, text him, whatever. Get him in touch. Tell him to check out my stuff. Right. Tell him not to look at the early stuff. I got a little better as I went. I started with nothing but a computer in an old office. And I don't know. Maybe he'll be interested. It's like we could help each other out. J. Cole. Sorry, I'm not myself today. You had a bad day. Why did you have a bad day? I asked very carefully and delicately.
I'm sorry to hear that, J. Cole.
Yeah, it is not good to hear that you had a bad day, and
but you're here now, so the night is going to be good. Look at
when you have a bad day, that is, all joking aside, when you should have some good soup, because it does make you feel better. Hot liquid
Feels so good inside.
is very soothing. So definitely consider that. And if you need to let us know what's up, let us know what's up. Jay Cole, I'm going to have you on for another mock draft soon. So if that makes you feel better, I know you like coming on. I'm gonna let you come on, and we're gonna have you on, and we're gonna do some drafting together. I cheer you up a little bit. Funny, why lie to Joe? I'm teasing.
I see where he's going.
I know. Would you be okay going defense at 4-10? I guess it depends. If we got Thibodeau with the 4th, and then, grab the Sauce Gardner or a Hamilton with the 10th.
Exactly.
I'm not exactly going to cry over it.
Yep, and you know what that tells me? We must have done pretty dang well in free agency on offense. I bet you if that happens, we might have Dalton Schultz. We might have signed a wide receiver.
Right.
So if that's the case, then heck yeah, let's go after it.
Yep.
I watched some Kyle Hamilton video, and the only knock you could really have on Kyle Hamilton is the position he plays. Other than that, you can't really find any fault with this guy. Plus, his last name is my middle name, so that's another reason why I kind of like him. But now, in terms of he's physical, he anticipates well, he's explosive, he's smart, he's energetic, he is intelligent, he processes plays well, he has the size, he has the speed. He is just about anything you could want in a safety. The thing is, though, where the Jets are they in a position to draft him? And I would not do it at 4. I've been thinking about if the board were to go something like Hutchinson, Thibodeau, and Ekwonu. If it went to that, I got to be honest, I'm really getting off the Evan Neal train. I'm not feeling Evan Neal. If it went like that, I could understand them taking Hamilton, and I would get it. Because I feel like he might have the highest floor of anybody in this draft. I really am starting to feel that way. But ideally, he would drop till 10, and we could take him there because let's face it, we are so bereft at safety right now. Ashton Davis, I'm sorry, is the only safety we have, and he is a sieve. I'm sorry, he is so unreliable that I just can't watch him start. And Jason Pinnock, I'm sorry, he has to prove a lot more for me to say, okay, plug him in, I'm good. That's one reason why I've been interested in bringing back LaMarcus Joyner also. He never got a chance to play in this defense, and it really hurt them. So, yeah, Hamilton is a guy that I am open to taking, but I would. It's very tough for me to take him over, say, like a pass rusher or an Ekwonu.
Okay.
Hey, Braden.
So Rusty is saying that okay, looks like this. Okay, we're gonna make it happen. We're gonna reach out to Long Beach Joe. We're gonna get him. We're gonna befriend him. We're gonna see if we can link and hook up, and I can get to know this guy. I'll check out his stuff also. Too. I'll go and I'll look and watch some of his videos, get to know a little bit about him, and we'll make it happen. J. Cole, you cheer me up. Oh, okay. Best man at my wedding. Before you find the wife, though, before you say you need a wife, let's start by saying we need to meet some people and make some female friends. And then we'll say you need friends, female friends, and then say one of them, it would be a girlfriend, and you'll develop a relationship of love and respect, and then you'll have a wife. You don't need a wife. First, you need to be somebody who builds relationships with females.
Yeah. J. Cole, take it from somebody who's 40 and never married, okay? You don't want to start with basic math and jump right into calculus. You don't want to, if I can use an analogy, one step at a time, build it up. And the thing with, I have quite a few quote unquote female friends. They're mostly in different parts of the country because I've moved and a lot of social media, that type of stuff. But yeah, it gets a little bit difficult after a while. I heard an analogy. It's like one of my favorites. Having a woman as a friend is like having $19 in the bank and looking at your ATM card. Your ass is almost, but not quite there. But learn how to be the friend first, I would say.
And he's also only
first, and then you have a much better chance of it just happening. But don't force it.
He's also only 19, so he has plenty of time.
Those years tick away quickly.
Yeah. So we have. Make sure you take Long Beach some flowers. Okay. All right. I don't know.
Yeah, he's definitely a flower type guy.
He's a flower type guy? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So, Braden, welcome, my friend, Braden Bethwaite, who's all the way in New Zealand. I had to think about it for a second. He's in New Zealand. It's sunny there, mate. It's summertime, and the weather is beautiful. And everybody here is complaining it's cold, and it's beautiful there where he is. Next week, Sacramento is going to hit the 70s a little bit. We're going to be.
We got 70 today here in Virginia. We hit it.
Nice.
Yep,
that's awesome. But oh man, it's good to see you. Let's see, what's today? It's Wednesday night. I go home on Friday night after the show. I'm going to be packing because Friday I'm going to leave at like 4. Saturday I'm going to leave at like 4 in the morning. So got to get home by like noon or something. I have an appointment for contact lenses.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm leaving. So let's see. My flight from Norfolk to LaGuardia is 6 a.m. Friday morning. I'm leaving super early. It's great that American has four nonstop flights a day from Norfolk to LaGuardia and vice versa. It's kind of crazy, but that's the way it is. So, yeah, got a pretty loaded weekend planned. Looks like I don't know if J. Cole's going to be showing up to try to smack me now, but I'm sure I'll still have a very exciting weekend regardless. I will say this, though. If anybody's interested, if anybody's a hockey fan, I will put this out there. I will be at McHale's Pub on 51st and about 8th Street with a group of folks watching the Rangers versus the Penguins. So Saturday afternoon, I'll be there from about 2 to 6 in the afternoon. So if you need something to do on Saturday, come on by and say hello.
So Afram chimes in and says, Thibs and Hutch Akano gone. Okay. Karlaftis or Hamilton? Which one? Keep in mind, we really need an edge more than a safety. Thoughts? I don't know if I take either. I think that's a trade situation, maybe.
Question is who wants to come up and for
if there's a buyer.
Yeah.
You see, the thing that I'm torn on is that everyone thinks Karlaftis. People have I really like Jermaine Johnson. I'll at edge if we can't get the other two. Like I don't know, and I like Karlaftis, but I also am really afraid of Karlaftis. I know we really need an edge, but I'm afraid. I don't know if I trust him. I think it's a gamble. He could be really good, and I think that Hamilton, if we couldn't get a trade, even though it's not the position we want as much, I think he's a lot safer.
He's very safe, and regardless of the position, we need playmakers on this team. And that does not just mean a wide receiver, a tight end, or a running back. We need defensive playmakers. We need them in the worst way. Kyle Hamilton can do that. And I think where this team is right now, if you look at Mekhi Becton, he was very much a boomer bust pick. And right now, I think we've seen that he is capable of playing very good football when he's on the field. But people are starting to question that pick. Quite possibly, even the coaching staff is starting to question that pick. That can't be. If that's true, then Joe Douglas cannot be thrilled about it, and he does not want to go with a boomer bust pick, especially this high. I think if it comes to this, they go with Hamilton over Karlaftis.
Yeah. So do I. I think that's what they're going to do.
And I don't even know if we need – do we really need an edge more than a safety? I mean, edge is a more important, for this defense and in general. I absolutely acknowledge that. But we do have Carl Lawson, and yes, I have faith he is going to be fine. Do we need an edge? Yes, we do, but we are bereft of safeties. There's no way around that. So to me, you can make an argument either way for which of these positions they really need more.
Yeah, you can go either way. It's like people are getting, I think, going a little overboard in talking down the importance of the safety position. I think it's gotten a little out of hand. I mean, all the positions are important, and if you find a special player, it doesn't matter what position. I've seen players, and we've seen it. We can name safeties in the past. We've seen players in every position change the game for a team, right? I mean, in any position, if you're good enough, you can heavily impact your team, and you can heavily impact games. Ronnie Lott heavily impacted games. Troy in Pittsburgh heavily impacted games. Ed Reed heavily impacted games.
Those are the guys.
These are guys that can. There have been guys that can impact games. Seattle Seahawks had a few too. So it's not like it's impossible, right? And Hamilton definitely. I'm not saying anything's a guarantee. There's definitely a possibility he's going to be one of those names. I mean, he's very, very special. Like aside from just it's his height, his measurements, his reach, but watch his tape, his instincts. He's so good.
This guy could handle tight ends. He could handle slot receivers. He could run over running backs. He could defend any player you want him to defend on the field.
Yeah,
pretty much.
He's a stud. So, quote from Salah today: he's working his butt off. If we can get him back to where
is this Becton
training camp, he came into the league. Our offensive line is supposed to be really good. Yeah,
I'm sure he's not talking about GVR here.
No. If we can get back to where he was at training camp when he came into the league, our offensive line is going to be really good. Yeah. So I mean, look, he has all the capability in the world. Right? All the potential in the world. He has all the ability in the world. It's really up to him. It's up to Becton. If he wants to be great, he has all the tools and everything he needs to be great. He just needs to decide he wants to be great.
That sums it up.
Blewett from X Factor thinks Neal won't be that good and that Hamilton can take some bad angles when tackling and miss out on interceptions because he was focused on the quarterback.
That's the closest thing to a knock that I have seen on Hamilton is sometimes the tackling isn't like the technique isn't great. Like he tackles a little bit high. All in all, it's been pretty effective. But I mean, if you had to find something that isn't as high ranking as his other skills, it's pretty much that. But I still, but again, he's so good at reading things. I feel like that's something that can be learned. To see like the bigger picture. I feel like that could be taught. So.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Those feel like very coachable things.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, what you don't want is you can't coach speed. You can't coach instincts. But like angles, I can coach angles. I can coach tackling, and things like that, where to put your eyes and read like that. That sounds like coachable stuff to me. So, and you know what better team in the world to coach them and what better staff to coach them than Salah and Tony Ogden? You can't
good luck transitioning here.
Oh, Nick Shine, take me to the strip club. Sorry, I just highlighted it. And J. Cole wants a wife, but also wants to go to strip clubs. I want Kennard.
He wants to find his wife at the strip club.
Oh, God, that's not going to work out well.
No.
I want Kennard in the third if we went right tackle.
Okay.
The kid is amazing and can play right tackle, guard, and center. We should watch him and Nick Cross, safety coordinator, special in Maryland. Holy shit, fast.
Nick Cross.
Okay, these are guys that we should watch videotape on. Now, look, it's going to be hard for me. I haven't tested it yet. It's going to be very difficult for me because I am not in my studio. I do not have my own monitor. So we can try to watch some tape, but Adam, you're going to have to tell me if it's working.
Okay.
Because I might not be able to see anything. Like I'll just be on YouTube and sharing and hoping it works. Brayden says, yeah, Mike. I mean, I guess I got
it made in New Zealand too.
Brayden is in New Zealand, but that's why he said that's what he's saying. He's saying, yeah, Mike, like I finally got it right. You got it right, Mike. And we have dub pies, just like you like meat pies. Okay. That horrible.
So Australia and New Zealand I like to think they're two different countries, but is New Zealand like little Australia? Is that what we're saying here?
Oh, he's not going to like that. He's not going to like being called Little Australia.
Meat pies. Put the shrimp on the bobby. And
I say it because we had this place called Dub Pies in Brooklyn.
yeah, I've heard of that.
And they
yeah.
opened one up off of Bleecker Street too, in the village. And they were delicious meat pies. And I always thought Australia for meat pies, but they were from New Zealand.
Really?
People who own the place, yeah. Oh, you were referring to Becton. Good. That's what we thought.
We figured, yeah.
Yeah. So the one thing you know about Joe is he's loud. That's fine. I've had CJ on.
He's not as loud as CJ.
I've dealt with
I can
loud.
assure you, he is not as loud as CJ. CJ breaks record. That's the
Jeremy, you can show my comment. I said, well, that's okay. It was right above the other one. I said,
oh, Lord.
Okay, let's look for this. It's just too good to pass up.
I'll start praying.
I don't see it though.
Is this my invite to take him to a strip club? Is that what this one is?
I have no idea because I just see that one. I
saw the chicken sandwich request.
To a strip club. That's all I see.
Yeah, I saw the chicken sandwich. What is he ordering a side dish next?
I don't know. You're gonna have to retype it, man. I can't find it. So
or super chat it. Wink, wink.
I only see Nick Shine take me to a strip club. I don't see one above it. Please, Rusty, I haven't smoked weed. Okay, so is this about smoking weed? Yes, you cheered me up, Jeremy. No, it's the only things I see, my man. I don't see anything else. Can't spend much time on it. I'm losing people in the stream as I'm searching for this. So, Jeremy, don't curse on Joe. Don't curse on Joe's show, Jeremy. You'll be gone quicker than Coke up Gas's nose. Okay, I'm not much of a cursor, believe it or not, so I won't curse. That's why I've been trying to tone down the cursing. That's why I didn't read your curse. I said F instead of the full word you wrote because I'm trying to tone down the cursing because I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube. And I certainly don't want my school, like the students, to find this channel and then have parents calling me complaining why their 10-year-old is watching me on a screen cursing. So
setting the example for the children of tomorrow. Jeremy, way to go.
Yeah. Hamilton or a defensive end at 10. Okay.
All right. Well, falls that way.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, he'd like to trade. I'd like to trade out too. That's why I said the first thing I said is if there's a buyer, trade out. If there's not, I think that and Hamilton is there. He's the safest guy. At least we know, like what you said, Nick. Just get good players. Hamilton's gonna be a good NFL football player. Okay, I'm I don't know if Blewett is being as critical and taking the other side just to things to look out for, but it's hard for me to believe he doesn't think that. Like I can't believe that he's taking it to a level where he doesn't think he's going to be a good player. Because Hamilton's going to be a good NFL player. I mean, I've been watching him at Notre Dame long enough. He's going to be a good NFL player. He's going against top competition. It's not like he's not playing against good competition. The man is an absolute beast. He's probably in my mind, one of the safest picks in the draft coming out. Return of okay, here we go. I like Mafe best behind Hutchinson. Yeah, I love him playing Mafe. That's amazing though. That's pretty high up. He has a motor and fire him in. I haven't seen since John Randolph. Okay, different position, but bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. They're two totally different types of players.
Right, but no bullshit gives me the chills. He's the guy along with Dean. I'm not going to doubt Rusty, but Rusty, next year we're going to have information on you. We're going to watch all these guys, and we're going to know your hit percentage, and you're going to have a reputation of being genius and brilliant, or Rusty Spooner's just like us.
I'm tracking. Yeah, I'm gonna have to write these names down that we're watching. And,
but I will say this: everybody that Rusty has had us watch film on has been incredibly impressive.
They've been darn good. I mean, just about most people's highlight tapes are gonna look pretty good. If they don't look good, then I'd say that the editor's not exactly doing the greatest job in the world in promoting these players.
I know what Gitmo is trying to say. I understand that you can't find edge players as easy in the later rounds. The problem is I don't trust Karlaftis. With the number 4 pick, I just don't trust him.
And I don't feel like safety is an incredibly deep position in this particular year's draft. I think once you get past the 3rd round, you're searching deep. There's a couple good safeties, but I'd say maybe there's about half a dozen who I'm interested in. there's a lot more edge guys, I'd say, who I would want this year as opposed to safeties. That's one reason I really want to grab a safety in free agency.
Yeah, a lot of people like different people this year because there's like that Curtis dude from San Diego State. There's Boya Mafe. There's Jermaine Johnson. There's Ajabo. There's Kaloftis. There's Hutchinson.
There's Myjai Sanders and Cincy. I mean, there's like 10, 11 guys.
It's crazy. And some of them are going to hit. So all the safeties you named had elite front sevens for many years. This scheme is about the front seven. Look at who San Francisco took time against the last decade. No, I agree that the main thing we need to take is offensive line and defensive line. I agree. I'm just saying in a scenario where no one is there that's worthy of a 4 pick, you got to trade out then. Like if you want OL and DL and you don't have a guy that should go that high, but there's plenty of OL guys or DL guys that are a little lower down, then you got to trade out, right? I mean, but I don't see a scenario where I don't think Hutchinson. I don't think that scenario is going to happen. We go 4th, right? So if Hutchinson, Thibodeau, and Neal go, then Aquanu is there. If Aquanu goes, then Neal is there. So no matter what, we can get Aquanu or Neal. And I'm fine with that. Huh?
Yeah, almost certain. I mean, I actually did one mock draft today and show you how ridiculous it was. I had my pick of Hutchinson or Thibodeau. I hit the reset button because I'm like, this is not happening.
Right.
By the way, like I love PFN, but what is their fascination with Andrew Booth? I mean, they rank this guy like he's freaking Revis.
I have no idea. I don't, watch, he'll turn out to be a huge star.
We never talk Andrew Booth. I mean,
we never talk
if I didn't just mention his name, we wouldn't have talked about him pretty much at all until maybe he actually got drafted. Let's be honest.
Right. Yeah, so the combine might not even happen. I can't believe this is actually going to happen, that we're going to lose the combines. Oh my God.
These agents want like a whole environment like set up. Like they want them to be completely quarantined. So.
It doesn't make sense. You know what's weird about that is that it seems like the country isn't doing that now. Like even California, like things are being lifted, things are going back to normal. So it's just kind of odd that they're doing it now because it seems like the world's going back to normal. It's weird that the NFL isn't loosening up now and still doing it, only because it's not like they're wanting to be like this, completely quarantined. I mean, if it was 2 years ago, if it was a year ago, if it was, then you'd say, okay, like what? Well, of course they're going to do that. But it's just weird to me because I'm in San Diego right now, and I'm telling you, when I went into the supermarket, nobody's wearing masks anymore. People are back in restaurants. People are back to their lives. So it is kind of strange, but we have to remember what's weird about the boycott to me is it's not the government. Someone said to me, yeah, Jeremy, but this is kind of like a tyranny kind of thing. Like right as we left the last one, or the last time I was talking, I like somebody said, it's like tyranny. And I said, well, it can't be tyranny. It's a company. It's the NFL is not the government. If the government was saying that every player had to be quarantined, you could say tyranny, but I don't think tyranny applies to NFL. It's NFL. It's like if you're if you're trying to get a job interview with a company and the company says, we're going to quarantine you for your interviews to be extra careful. Do you boycott and say, then screw you, I don't want to work for your company? Well, I guess that's your choice. It just seems that you work your whole life to be in the NFL and you wouldn't want to affect your draft position by not being at the combines. That's what's weirding me out because it's not a stance against a government thing. It's the NFL as a private entity saying this is what we want to do. And I will say it's odd. It's odd that they want to do it.
It feels like it kind of came out of nowhere. I mean, hopefully the more important thing for me, I want to see the individual interviews happen as normally as possible. I want, the teams to be able to host players, interview them, work them out, do whatever they have to do there. But I got to think there's got to be different ways to do the testing, the same skill drills and all that kind of stuff. It may not be centralized, or they may have to do it in shifts. They may have to do it over a longer period of time, but there's ways to get around it. I mean, just
why can't they just test the players? I just went to a wedding and I went to a wedding that was indoor. Everyone tested.
Mm-hmm.
So we knew it was safe because everybody tested negative and everybody was in groups with other people. So even if you said, oh, what if it was a false negative or whatever? No, because somebody in their group that they were traveling with would have tested positive, right? Because if you're traveling with 5 people, it's not like one person, like they all test negative. And you say, oh, what if one of them had it? Well, how would only one of them, you know what I'm saying and what I'm getting at? Like you could be safe. Like the NFL was testing players in camp. Like, why not just test them?
It just doesn't.
Check in when you
why
check
are we going
into
backwards? We don't need to go backwards. I mean, my company just lifted a mask mandate 2 days ago. You know, even like the city of Chicago, where I used to live, they're on the verge of lifting the mask thing quite soon. So it's starting to, we're starting to move forward with this. I mean, we still want to be smart. We still want to be safe. Let's not get into a whole political thing here. It's not about that.
Right.
But we at least want to try to be reasonable here. And I feel like what they're doing here, these people, they're trying to make things go backwards.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, I mean, could that hurt draft evaluations? Could that limit our abilities to evaluate a player as well as we would have wanted to, like maybe a year or 2 ago, which actually might have happened? That's not exactly the most reassuring feeling. I mean,
and to me, it's so like testing is like I can't imagine anybody complaining. Like, hey, we're about to be in a camp. There's gonna be a lot of contact with a lot of people. This thing has created some inflammation in the heart for young athletes. It was happening in baseball. We've noticed that this is a little bit of a threat to you guys. So we're just going to, as part of your check-in, when they check in, they do a lot of things. When you check in, to a convention, you check in, you get your badge, you get your stuff. There's a table set up. I do this at my school all the time, so I know how easy it is because half our kids test and our staff test once a week. It's literally you walk over to the table, you give them your name, and they put a label on a vial, and everything's done for you. They're handing you a Q-tip. You shove it up your nose a few times. They're holding out the vial. You put it in, and you walk away. I mean, it's not that hard. It's not a big deal. And then they run the tests, and they know. And if someone's positive, then they quarantine the positive people. Everybody that's there that's having contact is negative. It's a simple solution. It shouldn't be this big deal. So I don't get it. It's like.
Yeah, if we stay on this is not going to completely devolve.
I know. If you want a wide receiver to spread and I'm trying to be very diplomatic and in the middle, right? I'm saying, like,
we're trying to be logical, unlike
we shouldn't go backwards.
Let's put it
but let's not scream and cry about a simple test.
Yeah, I mean, believe me, I'm not excited when I go to New York. I have to show like my card or a picture of my card every single place I go, and I have to be masked the entire time. I'm not looking forward to it, but you know what? I'm going to go ahead and live my life. I'm going to go have fun.
Yep. If you want to, Christian Watson. I've heard that name a few times. We're going to have to look
North Dakota, right? North Dakota State.
Yeah, we're going to have to look at him. We didn't look at
I think I sent you his name. That was a guy I wanted to look at. Seems like he's rising up the draft boards. He has some height. So, yes, that's definitely a guy I wanted to watch. Absolutely.
Okay, we're going to let Rusty name a player, and then we'll look at him. We'll look at a couple of players real soon. When you look at college tape, Jeremy, you must pause the tape and highlights at 9 seconds or 10 seconds so you don't get the copyright strike thing from YouTube. Okay, I've been okay so far. Someone was yelling at me for hitting pause, and I tried to explain that to him, that I didn't want to get in trouble. So I have been hitting the pause button like throughout the video, which is cool because it allows us to talk and do some analysis anyway. So, but thank you for that heads up. Thank you for good looking out for sure. Yeah, I figure he still thinks he'll be a good player. Yeah, just not a generational one. Yeah, I hate the term generational anyway, right? Because
I don't know what word I hate more, generational or GOAT. I'm so tired of both of them.
Yeah,
I really, really am.
Iowa Jets fan. I actually got to hang out with him a little on Green Bean's Patreon. We watched the Jacksonville Jets 1998 playoff game. I guess it's over. Welcome to the chat, Iowa. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate you, man. It was nice to meet you and talk to you a little bit. That was cool. The NFL canceled the bubble restriction. Oh, they canceled it. Okay. So maybe we're going to be okay then. No boycott then? We can have a normal combine? That would be nice.
You're getting a lot of wedding questions, bro. You'll have to just take a minute or so and talk about the details of the wedding, I think.
Okay. So people are asking about the wedding. Jeremy, did you answer the wedding? Okay, so I'll take a second. I'll talk about the wedding. I forgot. Somebody asked me early on, and I forgot about it. The wedding was nice. The vows were beautiful. I recorded the whole thing because I have the best phone, and I was sitting right up front, so I got a good recording of it for them. They did a nice, quick ceremony, which everybody likes. I think from start to finish, it was 25 minutes. And then there was a lot of fun, man. My brother brought like bottles of, because it was like he provided the bar with his own liquor, because he has so much and he's moving and he didn't want to transport it all. He's moving from San Diego soon to Portland or Washington State near Portland. And he had some very, very good scotches, like really good scotches. Like if you're a person who likes to drink scotch, this was the place for you. And for me, it was a great time. I got to see old friends, and reconnect with people. We had a blast. We had a really good time, and it went by very quickly. And it was a good time. The food wise, nothing was like that rehearsal dinner. Like I'll put pictures of it. The rehearsal dinner was the greatest place in the world. There's a brunch place. And they're spreading around the country because there's one in Charlotte and there's one in Colorado. So they're getting around, and hopefully one day they'll come to Sacramento. There's a brunch place called Snooze. And I am telling you, it's just pure paradise. Their food is just amazing. And my niece, me and my wife introduced my niece to it, and she loved it. And she loved it so much that she did the rehearsal. She rented out the place or got them to open up just for our group at night because they closed at 3 p.m. And we had breakfast for dinner rehearsal, and it was great. Very cool stuff.
I was going to say, please tell me the food did not peak with the deviled eggs.
No, there was more food that came after that.
Okay, thank goodness.
Yeah, there was a lot of food that came after that. The stuffed French toast. There were like little burritos filled with amazing like pulled pork and eggs and stuff. And there was like this stuffed hash brown stuff with meat. It was all amazing. Come on, Germany. They have vaccines. Now they get treatments. They're milking the crap out of this. They're milking the crap. Okay, so it's over. It seems like they let it go, right? So that's good news. All I said was testing. Just if they wanted to, who cares? That's all I said. But I'm just glad that if they're just have the combine and let the players make their own decisions. They wanted my daughter to be vaccinated for online paralegal course. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry about that. I didn't want to I don't want to make that the topic. It's like, it's America. It's a free country. Do what you want, but companies are allowed to do what they want to. We have to accept that. Like a private company or private institution is allowed to do what they want to do, because there is a thing in the Constitution that the corporations are individuals with the protected by those amendments too, or something like that allow them to do this stuff. Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening, Peo time. I guess it's a good time as any to announce it now. Next week, Peo Time will be our guest. Peo Time is going to be on the show next week, and we'll talk a little bit about that Rams game, Jets game in 2020, an infamous game. We'll talk a little bit about the Super Bowl, and Peo will tell us what he thinks the Rams did right and how they built the team and how they got to the Super Bowl. And tell us what he thinks about signing big free agents, and at what point of your development you should sign for all that kind of stuff. The kind of
how he feels about the gradient numbers on the uniforms. That's the question we really want to know.
Yeah, all that interesting stuff. We'll talk about Cooper Kupp, all that good stuff. Yeah, I think that the Senior Bowl thing definitely helped. So I think that's good stuff. Oh my God, Sean Nolte, enough. We didn't mean to get political. We just wanted to have a combines. That's it. How many dishes did you eat at the wedding? There wasn't. It's not a New York wedding. California weddings are very different. It's very, very pulled back on the food. It's just light hors d'oeuvres during cocktail hour, and then you just get a plate of food. You guys know me. I went home, to be honest, and ended up eating because I was so like at the wedding, I was so distracted by things and talking to people. And then, I just wasn't, for some reason, I just didn't eat a lot. And then I got home and realized I was really hungry. I took my nephew home and I got up to the rental house here and I heated up one of those Trader Joe pizzas.
For frozen pizza, they do okay. They're okay. I've had some bad frozen pizzas. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I had one, I think it was like urban pie. It was like a chicken sausage and some different vegetables on it. And I fought my way through about half of it. And I'm just like, I can't eat any more of this crap. It was so disappointing.
Hey, I got some good news. We have a question from Payo Time, and he asked the best question.
You knew it. I can't wait to wait till he asks the question live, like when he's our guest next week.
I know it's going to be fun.
know he's going to have some cooked up for us.
I know. If there was a movie made about your football fan experience for your whole life, what would the title of the movie be, and what actor would you want to play you? So I guess if there was a movie about my football fan life, the title of the movie would be.
I'll answer it. Yeah, if you need a second, I can answer this right now.
Well, you could go first.
Okay, I'm done. The title would be "Where Did I Go Wrong?" and playing me would be Al Pacino.
I guess mine would be, the title of my movie would be "April is My Super Bowl," and the actor playing me would be what the hell is that guy's name again? Shit.
I'm trying to think this one over, but I'm struggling. I got to be honest.
About the actor that would play me?
Yeah. If I give who I'm thinking about, it won't exactly come across very well.
No, who is that comedian that used to have that drinking show on Comedy Central that everybody said I looked like?
The drinking show?
There was a guy who's always drinking in bars and getting drunk on Comedy Central at night.
Let's see, John Nolte says Telly Savalas. I was thinking I see a little bit of Danny DeVito, but
well, I'm too tall for though.
Exactly, Danny DeVito, but you got the head going on.
Yeah. But Terry Savalas is a funny one. I could just live with that. But
are you good with a lollipop?
Someone might remember who he was. There was a guy. He's like a D-list guy in no charity, but because he was Comedy Central. He was a drinker, a comedian that drank a lot, and I'm forgetting his name. And everybody used to say I look like him. I'm forgetting his name. Shit! It'll come to me. Huh? It'll come to me at some point.
Yeah. All bald guys look alike, I guess. That's what we're learning.
Yeah, exactly. Kyle Hamilton is literally an epic generational GOAT.
Yeah, we're gonna call this the generational GOAT episode. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, are there any generational GOAT long snappers in the draft? I'd love to get one of those.
Yeah. A generational long snapper.
Oh yeah, the generational long snapper, Trey Junkin, Thomas Hennessy, whoever it might be, Steve, the Aussie, whoever it is.
Well, he's not actually going to be in Portland, John. He's going to be in Vancouver, Washington. So it's like 10 minutes out of Portland, but it's on the Washington State side. So it's actually a really nice area. And Portland's a great city. So I don't know. I mean, I wasn't there during all the craziness, but I think it's just back to being a normal city again. So
yeah, the only time I've been in Portland was 2014. That time the Timbers, the soccer team, was hosting the All-Star game. So I kind of got caught up in the fever. It was back then, it was a good place to go. Between it's crazy. People up there, they dress like a hike is going to break out any moment. It's unbelievable. But
I just know it was me and my wife. Me and my wife went, there was so many brunch places to choose from, and we found one of the higher rated brunch places during the week at 10 a.m. and we almost had to wait. We got lucky because we were two. There were some groups that were bigger waiting for a table on a weekday, and we went in, and it was just like one of the most incredible experiences of our lives. Like they really take brunch seriously. It's like they get the best brunch chefs in the world, and they all go to Portland to open up restaurants. It's out of control.
I don't know how Portland got it, but all the food trucks and all that kind of stuff, somehow it became a culinary hotbed. Oh, and one other thing I didn't even mention, next month in March, I'm actually going to Charleston, South Carolina for the first time. So that is a culinary hotbed. So I guess it's going to be, I'm not a big grits guy, but I'm going to have some shrimp and grits down there. So that's going to be quite a weekend. Yeah, we got some food trips planned. So I will be giving you reports. No doubt about it.
Okay, if you're talking about the question of dancing, I didn't dance. My wife is back in Sacramento. She wasn't able to come down. And so I was not able to, so I just wasn't dancing. I was like kind of like single on my own, take care of my, some people, reconnecting with some friends that I have not seen in years that are really close friends. And then I had to leave early. Well, I didn't have to, but I wanted to. My nephew wasn't feeling well. And if my brother took him home, it would have been the entire family, like 5 or 6 people would have had to leave the wedding early. If I took him home, because I had my separate car, it would be just me. So I decided that my sister-in-law was dancing the night, and having an amazing time. And my other nephew and his wife was having an amazing time. So I was like, I just couldn't not do it. I figured I have to be the one to take him home. But then I ate a pizza, so everyone could feel better about that. So, and it wasn't that early. Everybody was home within, about 45 minutes later, 50 minutes later, everybody showed up. So. Dark Soldier, I'm working late, so you are muted. Okay, we're muted. Wait a second. If we're muted, what does that mean? That you can't hear us? But you like to look at our faces?
That's a disturbing thought. I didn't know we were eye candy, but thanks, Dark Soldier.
April is my Super Bowl. I'm laughing so hard. That was good, right? That was good. It's funny that the Rams fan is laughing and the Jet fans aren't.
I can see why the Rams fan is laughing. Yeah.
For Jets fans, it's just too true. Oh, thank you. There we go. I'll take that. Vin Diesel would play me.
I've actually been compared. Okay, I once had a gay flight attendant tell me I looked like Ben Affleck. That was just bizarre.
All right. Well,
yeah, I had that. I have the guy from This Is Us, Milo V, whatever his name is.
These are good people to be compared to.
And Ryan from The Office. That was the other one I got.
Oh.
Oh, one other one from the movie Elf. Peter Dinklage's character in the movie Elf. I got compared to a vertically challenged person. God bless him.
You're an elf. Okay, so oh man, that's so funny. I'm thinking Terry Savalas was a Kojak, man. Of course he was.
Yeah.
I should grab a lollipop
baby.
right now. Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say. I was just going to say something else, but I thought for a second I was going to remember the actor that he wasn't an actor. He was a comedian that everybody said I looked like. If Green Bean was here, he would know. He'd know it in a second. He'd say, "Oh yeah, you do look like that guy," because he knows all the actors personally when he used to do the Comedy Cellar. Kojak, man, that was big stuff. Instead of a lollipop, put a wafer in your mouth. You know what? That kind of reminds me. I'll be back in a second.
I think he's making a wafer trip, everybody.
There was no wafers at Trader Joe's.
Still from Trader Joe's? Okay. Yeah, I used to be into the Trader Joe's frozen pizzas, but
they did have...
The 3 cheese one's pretty good. Good.
They did have a canister of...
Chocolate chip cookies?
Chocolate chip cookies.
Okay.
So...
Yeah, I think my favorite ones that they have are probably the cinnamon bun cookies. Like 2 little cinnamon cookies with like a little bit of cinnamon cream in the middle. Dynamite. I'm much more a cinnamon guy than a chocolate guy. So if it's cinnamon, I'm pretty much into it.
I like this one.
Jason Statham's a good one.
Didn't he play the sniper? Did he play the sniper?
In what movie?
Like the American Sniper movie?
American Sniper, that was Bradley Cooper. But Statham has played a sniper in pretty much every other movie he's done in his life, I think. So.
Okay.
Let's see. Visit Utah. Yeah, Dark Soldier says. Yeah, I visited Utah when I was in high school. Flew into Salt Lake City as part of my final high school, around my senior year of high school. Hit up Utah, Idaho, which actually was really nice. Idaho Falls was a really beautiful area. and visited Yellowstone Park on that trip too. So knocked out 3 states that week.
This is a message for you about you were trying to find it. Information about us playing on grass.
So Sheffield Engineering SCX. Well, let me see if I can find the link. I'm not going to watch it until a little bit later. Okay, so I looked this up and I'm automatically being redirected to CXX, which is a gun. I don't quite think this is the same thing he had in mind. So.
Oh, I love this one. I love this one because comparing me to someone somebody who got to sleep with Demi Moore, I'll take that.
That's quite an accomplishment, and had some other scenes with some pretty amazing female actors, shall we say?
Yeah, but he had Demi Moore. I was right at the right age when she did Ghosts and started to do all those movies, you know.
Oh yeah, Indecent Proposal, Disclosure. She made some. They may not have been the best movies in the world, but man, they made money.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she still looks amazing.
Oh my God, they don't have any cops. Oh my God. I don't know what happened like there. I don't know why that became the city, but anyway, that's a different conversation.
It's one of the many cities, unfortunately.
Yeah. Did you do the Hava Nagila? We didn't. There was the only Jewish tradition that took place at that wedding was they broke the glass. They broke a glass at the ceremony, after the wedding. Otherwise, it was very like it was a friend who was ordained on the internet who married them. Like it was very, very non-religious. Question for Adam. If you had to rank Jeremy's football fandom to the Jets on a scale of 1 to 100, what would you rank him? 1 being he's a bandwagon soft fan, or 100 being he should get a statue?
1 to 10 would be difficult enough. I got to bring 90 other numbers into the case. Is that what I got to do? Jerry's football fandom. I've seen him react the way that he does during a couple of the Jets games. Some of the live moments when his voice goes up about 15 octaves. I think that alone definitely puts him in the upper echelon. I don't know about statue level yet. That would be quite the statue. I could just imagine you posing with your arm around like a life-sized Jeremy, like that Bruce Willis, Jason Statham looking sort of thing made out of granite. Can't you all just picture this?
Maybe holding my jersey up like this, my 8 jersey, my Elijah Moore jersey like this.
And you got a bucket of wafers in your hand. I could see that happening. I think for right now, without actually having watched the game with you, I'll give you a pretty good ranking. I'll go about a 75 and see where it goes from there.
All right, I'll take it
for right now.
It's
still to be determined ranking, shall we say? The fact that you have a show, for crying out loud.
I was about to say, you would think that having a YouTube content channel committed to the Jets. You better dance your ass off at my wedding, or I'll tackle you. I promise. Your wedding, it's New York. I'm not going to know that many other people anyway, so I'm going to I'm going to grab Green Bean, pull him on the dance floor, and we're going to dance the night away.
Yeah, I'll dance the night away too if they do the to the left. Take it back now, y'all. 2 hops this time. Boom,
yeah,
boom. I got that one down, man.
I told you I'll do the Wack for sure. I'll do that at J. Cole's wedding. Like I'll be the first, as he's doing his first dance with the bride, I'll be running around him in circles going, do the Wack. Do the Wack.
The electric slide. Wow.
I wanted to get to video footage sooner, but the questions keep coming.
They just come in droves, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Tottenham Stadium is the craziest stadium ever. I have that banner in my studio sent to me by Phil Adams. He was there for that game, for the Atlanta game.
I did find the 3-minute video of this SCX with the Tottenham Stadium, so I'll watch that in a little bit. But let's find out that it's actually being replaced. So, and again, that's got to be something the Giants and the Jets are in on. It's not the Jets stadium. It's they're equal partners. So,
You
I
look
look more like Casey Affleck than Ben. Okay, cool. Nothing wrong with that.
I'm glad Mess reminded me. His cookies are tasting really good right now.
All right. Never, can't really do much chocolate. Probably the only chocolate I really ever do is Oreos, and that's not very often. That's about it.
Oh, Rusty was born in the 80s.
Just like me.
Maybe the 90s. I don't know. Maybe I did.
Curly Howard from the Three Stooges. Is that you or me or both of us? High quality entertainment tonight, folks.
Nah, Rostrom drives cars.
All right.
Oh, he's the one that does like transportation, like when they had the little girl in the back or whatever, and he did that show. What's that one? The one that starts with the Hasidic Jews and then not Hasidic Jews. They're like, gotcha. No, what's the name of that movie? Oh my God, that was the greatest movie. They were all chasing this diamonds, and it starts with these guys dressed like Hasidic Jews, and Brad Pitt is in it as like this crazy Irish guy or whatever, and they kill his mother, so then he starts killing them all. Someone will know it out there. I'm forgetting the name of that movie. But that's what started them off. And then he was like the transporter or something. I like that guy. He's good.
Statham was in that movie?
Yeah, and then he was in the Italian Job.
Yeah,
he was the one. He's always with driving cars. He's like the best.
Is it Snatch?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Snatch. They were both in Snatch back in 2000.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
Okay.
Did they say Mazel? I don't think anybody said Mazel. Nope. Nobody said Mazel. Does Jeremy have good dance moves?
Oh boy.
Maybe she'll tell you about the time on a cruise ship when we tried to do square dancing and fell off the stage or fell off the dance floor.
You fell off the stage doing square dancing, not even swing dancing?
Exactly. Guys, thanks for answering my comments. I have to get up early. Oh, man. Take care, Nat. Thank you. Thanks for coming. We appreciate it. I like Jeremy blows the gasket. Got to give him an 87 for my passion.
There's a reason I don't get videoed while I'm watching the game with the Jets group. Yeah, it gets scary.
I almost put a remote control through TV, and I'm not exaggerating. So
you should just see me on the when we get like a penalty on the first play of the game. Right there, I'm ready to blow a gasket. I'm just ridiculous. Problem is, I'm out in public, so I kind of need to restrain myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah. People knew Snatch pretty quickly. So yeah, good job, chat.
If you had your choice of edge to take at 4, who would you take, and why is it Thibodeau? So he knows we're going to say Thibodeau.
We won't.
I wonder if you told me.
We won't have our choice.
If you told me I could take Hutchinson,
I'll take Hutchinson.
I'll take Hutchinson.
I just don't think it's possible.
I don't see how Detroit is not going to take Hutchinson.
The only way I can see it not happening is because it's Detroit, who is well known for their ability to screw a draft up. So, like I said, I never underestimate the stupidity level of some of these teams.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see how they could blow it with Hutchinson. I mean, with the fact that he's local, I mean, that's the biggest thing. It's just it makes all the sense in the world. Yeah. But you know what? The Lions are the type of team where people say do this, and just to spite them, will be like, we know better than all of you. We're gonna shock you and do it even better. And then they get too cute, and they screw stuff up.
Yeah, you mean not Dr. Evil? Mm. When I was 8 years old, my parents had me laminated. It was a painful experience. No.
I actually, honestly, I prefer your New Zealand accent. You're not. Oh boy.
What if I start to talk like Al Pacino?
Oh boy. Yeah, sometimes I feel the voices, just not feeling it right now.
Yeah. AC. I'm better doing a kid voices things like I am Grover. Pass the fast or Howard Cosell is my good one, but I'm going to save that.
Oh, we could do like dueling Cosells one night. Okay, do the electric wafer.
Do the electric wafer. Like eat a wafer on every time where you have to do a move, like like eat a wafer.
Take a step. Bite.
Eat a wafer.
Take a bite. To the left. Take a bite. He goes up 5 points. So your fandom level goes up 5 points for every 10 mock drafts you do. See, I think we do about as many mock drafts, except yours are actually on YouTube. Mine are I just do my own.
No, because I do the ones on YouTube and the ones on my own.
There you go.
I can show you 3 on my phone right now.
Dude, if that was the case, your rating would be about 260. You would have blown past 100.
That's what I was going to say.
You'd have blown past 100 around like Washington's birthday.
Yeah, exactly. Jets own 60%. Giants own 40%. I hope the Giants buy the stadium and we move out into a new one. I don't see it happening anytime soon, but it would. I really always wanted to know whatever happened to the plans on the west side by the Javits Center, especially because there's a train that goes there now.
Yep, Dolan's had a lot to do with squashing that. Yeah, but I think the real reason they wanted to build that stadium was because they wanted to bring the Olympics to New York. That's what it was really about. And I feel like when that didn't work out, the stadium proposal really collapsed. The Jets were just going to be like the side benefit of it, but they were like second-class citizens in their own stadium, as weird as that might sound. But that would not have been the reason they were going to build that stadium.
I can be Heisenberg.
Heisenberg? Okay.
From Snatch. Three Stooges. They were funny stuff. Gitmo Bob just saw a mock today that has Thibs dropping to 8. One unconfirmed report that the guy almost falls out of the top 10. Unconfirmed report, and the guy. I know this, but we don't know if that's real with the GMs, right? That's just the perception of the media. And sometimes they're right. Sometimes a report, we've seen reports and things and events drop guys down out of the draft. That offensive lineman that Dallas ended up signing, when there was like an arrest or something and like nobody knew what happened, and he ended up, he was innocent, but nobody knew at the moment what was going on. And he slipped from being a first, second round offensive lineman, a guard, all the way out of the draft. And then Dallas signed him as an undrafted free agent. So, I mean, things in the draft is very touchy. People do not want to waste draft picks or take risky draft picks.
It changes every week. Oh, I found welcome to rumor season, by the way. All rumors, no facts. We're just going to be in Rumorville for a couple of weeks till free agency kicks in. I actually did find some information on the lease with MetLife Stadium. So let me just give you this. So the Giants and Jets, when the stadium was built around 2010, all right, about 12 years ago, it's a 50-50 joint venture with called the MetLife Stadium Company to build and operate the stadium. It's a 25-year term with options to extend it, which could eventually reach 97 years. If this freaking stadium lasts for 97 years, God have mercy on us. But after the 15th year of the lease, and then every 5 years, one of the two teams may opt out of the lease after giving the state of New Jersey 12 months notice. So if it's 15 years, the first opportunity to opt out will be in 2025. They just have to give notice in 2024. And so then every 5 years, one of the teams has the ability to opt out and leave. So the Jets could leave in 3 years. I don't see that quite happening. But it is possible the way that the lease is worked up. 2025, there'll be an opt-out option, 2030, 2035, and so on.
Wow.
So it is a 50-50 venture with the Jets and Giants.
I think we should I think we'd hear rumors of it soon. It takes a while to make another plan, so
there'll be a little groundswell for it, but
I think Jeremy should do an entire stream as Pacino. I would just sit there the whole time saying, "It's our time now. The big fight. The Super Bowl.
Hey Al, I got a question. What would your reaction be if the Jets took, let's say, Stingley with a first round pick? What would your thoughts be?
I'd take a flamethrower to that place. Hoo-wah!
Oh boy. I don't know who I could do the show as. I could, well, we'll figure it out. I kind of morph into voices, but I just it's got to come. Like whether it's a Dr. Phil, I can do that one pretty decently. I just don't know if I can do it for 2 hours.
What was that one from Mayor? I choose to fight back.
Say hello to my little friend.
You fight for the inches. And the inches become feet, and that's the difference between winning and losing.
Look at the pelican, fly pelican.
We're doing imitations now. What the fuck just happened to the show? This is.
It's official, guys. We've been doing the show for about a month. We're out of ideas.
We're done. We're just going to do imitations from now on. Let me imitate J. Cole. Wait a second. I have to take my shirt off because I'm getting married.
Gitmo, what's your ideal woman or women? I mean, he probably wants to know women.
Iowan Jet fan says, what's your ideal woman?
My God.
Oh, my God. He's going to ask. Gitmo's going to start giving him advice on the right women. He'll give you that advice. When you get into your car, unlock her side first. And forget to unlock your side of the car and see if she runs over him. Oh, you can't do it anymore because all cars are electric. And now hitting with you can't do the test anymore from Bronxdale. Sorry, buddy. Yeah, I'm at 3240 if you consider how many mock drafts I've done. It's true. Serious question. What's the point of the mock drafts? I think it's just for fun. I think
we're
it's
not exactly splitting the atom when we do this. It's just to get a feel of what other teams might want to do. Of course, it's all computerized, but we can figure out, okay, this might be the type of situation that we have. Like, what kind of team? Like, what would be a good draft? What would not be a good draft? But at the end of the day, the way we do it, it's just by position. Because, like, okay, we want to take this position here and this position here at some point, but we have to remember that is not how Joe Douglas and the scouting staff are going to do it. They aren't married to a position at a certain draft pick, So, you have to wait. I think we'll have a much better idea what this might look like once free agency comes and goes. It's just fun. It gives us something to do for the next couple weeks. I mean, what the heck else are we going to do?
Yeah, I feel the same way. It's just to kill time and a good way to learn the players for me. Like, I think practicing the mock drafts forced me to look up players and who might be there in certain rounds. And then I saw names and I started watching them like in the Senior Bowl, and I started looking up guys. And so now at least when the draft comes, there's a good chance as we're picking guys, I'm going to know right away who they are. I've already looked at their tape. It's going to be more entertaining. So the mock draft has been good for a couple of things, but it's just fun. I mean, we know it's not realistic, although it'll be interesting to see when we're done it'll be interesting to see how many of the players match up to what we've been doing in the mocks.
I mean, if I remember last year with the mocks, I mean, a lot of us had we were taking Zach Wilson. We kind of knew where that was going to go. Now and then we would take AVT. Now and then we would take Michael Carter. But I can hardly remember a draft where we took Elijah Moore, And then after that, I mean, once we started getting into the defensive guys, I was like, who? I know any of these guys.
Yeah. The whole thing.
That doesn't mean I was pissed off at the picks, but it was like, well, we didn't plan on this guy because we had different types of linebackers and tight ends in mind. We were looking at the Derek Barneses of the world and the Divine Diablos, those types of guys. And that was not the kind of player that the Jets had in mind. So, what we think is not necessarily what they think. But we'll find out who knows best.
So, Jeremy, are you a fan of Conor McGregor? I wouldn't say I was a fan of Conor McGregor. I don't dislike him as much. I dislike some of his takes and some of the things he said. I I don't dislike him like a Rich Cimini or Cimini. I appreciate that Conor McGregor texts what's going on during training camp. Like he's willing to fill us in on what's happening and what's going on. Whether I agree with him or not, I feel like he gives his honest opinions on players. So I might not always agree with him, but I think that it's good that he's really honest about what he's seeing in camp. It's just somebody that's there that's willing to talk to us and tell us what he's witnessing. He's not a homer. So he's not just saying, they look great, they look great, they look great. So when he says Zach was really on target and looked really good today, that means Zach looked really good because Conor does not he doesn't give away candy. Like he doesn't butter things up. He looks with a critical eye. He's usually negative. So when he says somebody looked good, they really look good. You can trust him with that. I don't like his takes on what he says and thinks that Joe Douglas is going to be doing. Like he made some comment about us trading the number 10 pick for Ridley. I thought that was one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard. So that I lost a lot of I thought, okay, Conor, I'm glad that you're in camp and you're willing to text and share with us. I'll appreciate you for that, but I'm not going to listen to your takes. Like your takes are ridiculous. Like that was a ridiculous take that he made. And I kind of lost a little bit of respect for his knowledge of JD and what he's doing with this team and what's realistic, because the number 10 for Ridley prediction was just absolutely ridiculous. Okay, what do you got to say?
Reread the question.
Are you a fan of Conor McGregor? Oh, I was thinking of Conor Hughes. I'm talking about Conor Hughes. I
had to let you go.
We're on a Jets talk channel. Why are you asking me about Conor McGregor? Conor Hughes is the Conor that we all talk about. What the hell? Conor McGregor
for like 3 minutes.
Conor McGregor was a good fighter who made a jackass of himself at the end. I mean, what could you say?
We could have saved 2 minutes and we could have broken down film. Now look what happened.
Great fighter. Lost sense of who he is.
Wow. Have a good night, Iowa. Thanks for joining.
Is Iowa leaving?
Yeah, Iowa's got to go.
Oh, good night, man. It was good meeting you tonight in Zoom. I'll look forward to seeing you again next month.
What other Conors would you like to know about? We'll talk about all the Conors you want.
Put a light bulb in your mouth. I don't know what that means. Something
I have no idea either.
Probably something to do with my Al Pacino or something. Go easy on the guy Gitmo.
Go easy on the guy Gitmo.
I'm always easy on Gitmo. Hey, it is Green Bean. I can't believe you're able to view this because I figure you're not sitting in your truck right now. Wow, we're way behind in the chat. I hope he's still here. Jeez.
Yeah, he's still here.
Everybody's saying, "What's up, Green Bean?" Okay. Green Bean has the link. You can come in, man, but you probably don't have the internet to do it. The damn stadium is a mess. Shaking my head. Yeah, the stadium sucks, man. It's ridiculous. 2 New York teams go in together and can't get a freaking good stadium built. It's absolutely embarrassing.
The light bulb is Uncle Fester.
Oh, Dark Soldier's finished.
Fester reference.
Dark Soldier thinks he knows what the topic is by the chat. Not now, he doesn't, because he thinks I was talking about Conor McGregor all that time.
Wrong Conor.
Wrong Conor. I got the wrong Conor. But I think
why would Conor McGregor have an opinion on Joe Douglas?
I was talking about Conor Hughes.
Let's reach out to Conor McGregor. Hello, Mr. McGregor. Your opinion on Joe Douglas?
Hey, Green Bean, we found Rusty Spooner. He's back.
Oh boy.
You want to play rough? Okay. What's going on, AC? AC is one of those moods. AC is in one of those moods again. Green Bay, I'll make you a turkey sandwich. All I can say is you better not be threatening me because J. Cole is here. Don't threaten anybody that J. Cole likes. Maybe a little battle with the wits and win against unarmed men. I don't know what's going on here. Are they fighting with each other? Is that what's happening? Yeah, I don't need any weapons.
Little bit. I was
There's
feeling
some
competitive.
fighting going on between AC and I don't know. Okay, 50 of them. I'm trying to get to the bottom here. Yeah, let's just move down.
A little bit. Yeah, it's a little bit of ways, but
okay, that's kind of used, man. You Green Bean was the first to correct me. Okay.
Yeah, I just said, Ash, guys, just let him go, let him roll. Let's see when he figures this out.
Oh, V-Man is here. V-Man has been on the channel. Hey, did you hear Joe Judge will be de facto quarterback coach? Love it loud. Rest of the AFC East is laughing hard. That's great. Yeah, I know McGregor. I just messed up, guys, okay? I messed up. It's part of what makes me who I am. Hello, I agree with me, Jeff.
Hey, we're real. We don't do everything perfectly.
McGregor is an MMA.
It
I know who McGregor is. McGregor's the one who talks like this and says, I'm going to knock you out and I can beat you anywhere. You fight me, your mother this, your mother that, blah, 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 blah. I'm a UFC fan, believe it or not. And,
I could tell.
I thought he was really good. In the beginning, I really liked him. And then he was like a hard worker, and and then he just became such an asshole, but whatever.
He's an entertainer.
Uh-oh. We got to block this guy. We got to troll.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he's driving. That's what happened. He's driving.
Oh, that's what that is.
That's what that is. Because he's driving, he typed drib BH.
He's driving a BHU?
He's trying to say why he's not hitting the link to be in the chat. I think it's fun to have Green Bean on when he's driving. Like you just see the profile and the wheel of his truck, and he's bouncing up and down driving. It's fun to watch. He's like, yeah, man. Last time he was talking to me and he was driving, we're talking.
Yeah.
And I said to him, are you tempted to stop at a McDonald's now? Like your wife's not with you, the kids aren't there. You're not tempted to sneak off and get McDonald's and eat it? And he started laughing. He goes, dude, like he totally understood where I was coming from. But he said, but you don't understand where I'm going. He goes, but yes, would be tempting. He goes, that's something I've done. I've snuck off and, I got to pick up something from the hardware store. And then he gets McDonald's. But he pulled into a lot and showed me it was a fitness workout place. Like, what's that? Gorilla Planet workout?
Planet Fitness? One of those types
Planet Fitness. And he was going to work out. So that's why he wasn't stopping for McDonald's, obviously. He was doing the opposite.
Yeah.
So.
That kind of defeats the purpose, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Driving and watching YouTube. He's not driving, he's listening. He's listening, right, Green Bean?
And unlike you, Dark Soldier, Green Bean can actually hear what we're saying.
Yeah, so the funny part of that is that you were letting it happen because I was looking at your eyes.
I
was like,
I had to let it happen.
I didn't know what the hell you were looking like, why you were reacting like that.
I was just like, what's the next ridiculous thing he's going to say?
I'm catching up.
I'm going to have to go back and replay this after tonight. I got to go back and listen to everything you said, thinking that you thought it was Connor Hughes.
Oh my God. And now I'm hearing it. Now I'm hearing it. Like John Nolte, thanks for the 10 minutes around about the wrong person. Ha, jail stumped you. But hey, Jeremy, what do you think of Connor Hughes? Connor Hughes is an asshole fighter. He asked himself when he jumped into boxing. He lost in boxing. He made excuses. And then he comes back to MMA. Now, he should have stayed in one weight class. So screw Connor Hughes. He should go back to Ireland. Okay? You guys want it now? I've come full circle.
Yeah. If Conor McGregor was declaring for the NFL draft, what position would he play? Maybe we could get him in the 4th round.
Gitmo wants to know where Green Bean is. Green Bean is somewhere in Arizona, and it's very cold there, and he has no internet where he's staying. Like, so the campgrounds, there's no internet whatsoever, to the point where he couldn't even text before. I forgot what the name of where he is in Arizona. Somo, something like that.
Yeah. Huh? Are you talking about Sedona?
Sedona, maybe. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's one of the most beautiful places in the world.
Yeah, but it's cold. So anyway, he's gonna have to now do his shows for the next few weeks, I think, unless he decides to leave. I believe he's going to have to do it like he did his Zoom before. He's going to have to do it from the back of his truck in the parking lot of a Walmart.
Raise the rabbit ears.
I can't help but laugh. It's going to be the back of his
With
truck.
all the power he uses, he's going to shut the town down.
I have one question for you, Green Bean, as you're driving. Is it one of the Walmarts that have a McDonald's in it? Because that would be
Subway, which is almost as depressing.
That would be great for me if I said, honey, I have to go to the parking lot of the Walmart to do my shows, and not tell her that there was a McDonald's in the Walmart.
Guy, I'm just going to say this. If you're doing your fast food cheat at McDonald's, oh boy, raise your standards a little bit. Boy, oh boy.
They're talking about Uncle Fester and me being Uncle Fester. I don't know what's going on.
It's going all over the place. Is where this is going. From Conor, we're the only chat that breaks down Conor McGregor and Uncle Fester within about a minute of each other. Okay, you can't get that anywhere else.
So Rusty is going to tell us why he got blocked, but there's a story to it, and I wanted him to call in, but there's no way. I don't have any call-in technology. I was going to give him the stream link and have him just shut the camera off, but apparently that doesn't work well for him. So we're going to get some kind of technology so he can explain what happened. But whatever happened, he fought back, he said, and they couldn't keep me off. Although he does have a different name, so who knows? We don't know that's
Return of the Rusty.
We don't know that's the same account. Okay, the Jets should have built their own stadium in Flushing Meadows or in Belmont. Yeah, they should have built their own, man.
Yeah, Queens great.
By where their fan base is. Because there are plenty of people who don't go to games because they don't want to deal with the long drive and the parking lot. And, Matt O'Leary, it took him 4 hours to get home. I mean, that's insanity.
And even when the team is good, that's a pain in the neck to do. When the team is bad, you're going to sit out there in the cold, pay those prices. So, well, by the end of the season, you could probably get in the stadium for like $9, but why would you spend your day doing that? No wonder like other teams tend to overwhelm our fan base, between the location, the quality of the stadium, there's no wonder. So
Rusty Spooner is a hardcore, ban the beat, boycott the beat guy. And he feels that Jake and ESPN try to shut me down for the truth. Fam, I love how he throws in fam. That's how you know it's him. You can't fake it.
Yeah, it's him now. Yeah.
But I don't back down and went against them. I'm back now and ready to expose ESPN and their Seminis, Hughes, and those clowns. Okay.
Hughes?
Connor Hughes?
I don't think he works at ESPN.
I don't know. What do you want from me? I'm just reading what he said.
Great. Have fun.
Oh, I remember that. I did a stream with Frankie when I was driving back from San Francisco on our Sunday night show. We went into San Francisco to have lunch with my wife's aunt and uncle and their friends. That's true. But I was driving. I wasn't looking at the screen. And I gave everybody motion sickness. Or maybe just John Nolte because he's an old fart. Rusty loves ESPN. I know he watches ESPN secretly. No. It's ESPN loves me. Okay.
Rusty, I hate to tell you this. I don't think ESPN knows who you are.
Yeah, we weren't 100% sure where Rusty disappeared to. We didn't know for sure, but now it was what we assumed. Yes. What?
I'm glad he's back.
Yeah, I'm glad he's back. It was kind of what we were guessing. It was a little bit what we were guessing. So I'm going to get my wife and going to have her come in Jeremy's stream and shake her booty for Get Mo Bob. He doesn't even have a girlfriend. He's talking about his wife. Okay. At J. Cole, we're definitely feeling this one. Okay, let's go to V-Man. Usually gets us back on track. Okay.
Yeah, we're able to catch him quite easily after that one.
Okay, imagine the Jets having their own stadium for the first time since 1961 when they were the Titans. Imagine a statue of Namath or Weeb Eubank outside the entrance. Imagine a statue of me, Jeremy Cravat, because I attained the level of 100 ranking as a Jets fan.
Yeah, I mean, when I think of Jets legends, I pretty much think Joe Namath, Joe Klecko, Weeb Eubank, and Jeremy Cravat. Yeah, they're all pretty much on the same level. I think I would want Namath pretty much right at the 50-yard line outside the stadium. You put that statue there. And I think the Jeremy I would put behind, like, say, the west end zone. Maybe, right by that entrance, right by the Trader Joe's wafer-sponsored entrance. I think that would be pretty much the ideal spot.
You'd have to have a green bean statue because the beard. Like they'll have the beard curl up so kids can get in the beard and take pictures. So
yeah, hey kids, climb the green bean beard.
Take a picture in the green bean beard.
And of course, since the Jets are broadcast by ESPN Radio, live from the Rusty Spooner ESPN studios.
Guys, if anybody is watching this and has not subscribed yet, I'd like to remind you that I'm closing in on 300, which means 3 T-shirts. It means you're going to get a Boycott the Beat T-shirt. I know Rusty would love to win that. You're going to get a choice of 2 of Green Beans T-shirts. One of them, This Ain't No Happenstance, with a picture of his lovely face on it, or What Would Green Bean Do shirt. And I still think that shirt on the back should have the words draft the tight ends, but it doesn't matter. It's a great shirt. And I'm going to be giving away a shirt from Jets 24/7's website. So 3 shirts will be given away. It's going to be, once I hit 300, we'll do it on one of the shows. It'll be a guess a number from 1 to 100 type thing. So you have to be here at the show to win. So not only subscribe, it would help if you hit the notification bell so you know and don't miss out on your opportunity to win. I'll give plenty of notice so everybody has a chance to make plans to be in the stream. And Adam will be here to keep it honest and fair because, as you can tell, he's an honest and fair guy. He'll have a number written down, and when he sees the number come up on the chat, he will hold it up to the camera, and then we will give out, and then that will be the winner. The winner will be declared. Everybody will get 1 guess at a time. So we'll say everybody take their first guess. Are we done? And I'll say 5 seconds left to do your first guess. I'll ask Adam if there was a winner. If there's not, I'll say, okay, everybody put in a second guess. So you're not allowed to just go 1, 2, 3, 4. You can't do that. You take 1 guess at a time. If you get,
there won't be a decimal. Like, we won't make it 63.49.
No, we won't do that. But you have to follow the rules and only guess once. You can't be a Jeremy. You have to follow the rules. And you have to, there's no Jeremying. That's my word for cheating. You have to follow the rules. If you're caught guessing twice before we say you can guess the second time, you're disqualified. Okay, Liberal Irishman in the house. Welcome, my friends. I didn't know you were here. I hope that you have some marmalade and some toast, and maybe you put the margarine on the marmalade, and you're drinking your Guinness. McGregor.
And your day is coming up in a couple of weeks, yeah?
So McGregor would be funny covering the Jets. Can you imagine him trying to get a question in?
Yeah.
Salah, I'd like to ask you a question. How about I come up there and I kick you in the head?
Ashton Davis, why'd you run the wrong road again?
You run the wrong road.
The wrong road.
I'm gonna give you.
How did Conor McGregor get Canadian all of a sudden?
I don't know. I'm gonna give you a kick to the head.
He's half Irish, half Canadian.
I wish.
J. Cole says there's going to be a statue of me at his wedding. Well, how about, hey, you could have the real thing, man.
I think
I can't make you a good chicken sandwich, but my statue can't make you a chicken sandwich,
Yeah. We didn't even get to our grievances, and we're over 2 hours.
We didn't get to grievances or film. That's crazy.
Oh my God. We didn't even get to the grievances. You were mad at something, and I was mad. You were mad at what people were saying about that people are being too hard on Corey Davis.
I was going to get into that. I mean, I could still talk about it a little bit if you want me to, or we could save it up for next week. Mm-hmm. Either way, it's not like it's going to go away.
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
Let's save it up. It's good. I mean, we're at 2 hours. We should probably just probably wait.
Look at this. You're getting an invitation, though.
I could come to a wedding if I dance. After about my third, maybe like mixed drink, preferably like as long as Jack Daniels is involved, I should be pretty good. Let's do it.
All right.
I'm not afraid to dance.
Do you want to dance under the moonlight?
Depends with who.
Do you want to dance? I'm going to start doing Ramones now. So GSP, Buffalo fan. George St. Pierre.
Who's GSP?
He was a fighter from Montreal, from Quebec.
Oh, okay.
George St. Pierre. He was a great fighter. He was a champion at 170. See, I'm a fan, guys. I'm a fan. I got to drink beer and spend time with my brother downstairs. So, thanks for joining us on this wacky Wednesday.
Depends what Braden. Depends what beer we're having.
I hope it was wacky enough for you. I try to make it extra wacky today. Next week we're gonna have Peo time. He is the LA Rams content YouTube provider. We're gonna talk to him. He's gonna ask fun questions. It'll be a good time. And the week after that, we're gonna have Spotty Blackman back on the show. You know him, you love him. He was great. He is from the Weapons Hot Show. He is a character in his own right. He needs to be on more on YouTube, in my opinion. Very thorough guy. Thinks things out really well. Is a good conversationalist. Good guy. I know everybody liked him the first time he was here. So we're going to have him, and hopefully Luscious Lovely Lady will come back when she sees that he's back, because she seems to like him. And we'll take it from there. But anyway, be sure to watch Green Bean. I believe that hopefully he'll be on tomorrow. I'm guessing that he will. I'm guessing he'll go back to that Walmart. His Thursday show is tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Eastern, right, Adam? 8 o'clock Eastern?
Yep, 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock Eastern.
And I'm sure he'll have me on for some trivia. And I've been looking up a lot of questions this week. I'll tell you right now. As a matter of fact, I've actually got it broken down into categories. So, yeah, depending if do you know if he's scheduled to have anybody on? If he's going to have a guest on tomorrow?
Well, we know he'll have Frankie co-hosting. So Frankie from Flatbush,
Franks and Beans.
So Frankie will be there. I'll be backstage most likely. Maybe not. I mean, I don't know. My family's gonna, they might have a cow. This might be the week I have to take off, but I don't know. We'll see. If we're not doing much, then I will be. But I know you'll be there for the trivia, and I'm not sure who he has lined up as a guest, but he's had people lined up, and there were some people he was talking about. I'm just forgetting right now. But the point is, make sure you check out Green Bean tomorrow. I'm sure most of you have, but sometimes we get new people that stumble upon this site. And if you don't know it, Green Bean Jets fan is the must-see, must-go, must-subscribe, must-watch, must-support site on YouTube. And also, of course, Matt O'Leary and Jets Talk 24/7 and NY Jets Today. Another friend of mine, John. Make sure you throw some love to his channel as well. And then, of course, Frankie from Flatbush, where a lot of you know very well. I was on for a while, and that's how I kind of got my chops to be able to do my own channel. So support the community. Check out all those guys, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
See you guys.
American Pie. Drove the Chevy but to the levee, but the levee was dry.
Levee was dry. Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing, "This'll be the day that I die."
This'll be the day that I die.
I would regret it if people look back at the first episode and you weren't on it.
Yeah, well, I like that. It's called forward thinking.
We have one of the worst beats in the world. We do. Our beat is horrible.
Connor could shove that article up his ass.
And then I went to that game, and I was like, this is the greatest team I've ever seen in my life. I'm a Jet fan. This is going to be the greatest run ever. Yeah.
No, because if they take a Kwanu, I'm not complaining.
Joe Douglas is the king of keeping shit close to the vest.
A 2, a 4, and a 6 for Darnold.
Did the Jets really ruin Sam Darnold, or did Sam Darnold just suck all along and we were just trying to talk ourselves into it?
And Hamilton is a player who could potentially make a very big impact.
And suddenly here we are today. You can't get rid of him.
Right. It's like a plague.
Joe Douglas was hired because he's not those general managers.
Okay, Luscious.
Somebody is going to fall just like Elijah Moore did, just like Michael Carter did.
If you had one sentence to say to Joe Douglas, what would you say? So you would say, you had me at hello, and then give him a big old wet